So you want to know more about how to price your photography. Maybe you want to step up your game and start making more money. Maybe you want to do this full time and be able to quit your day job. Whatever the reason, today I have 5 tips that's going to help you to price your photography. So what's going on, everyday people? I'm Chadeveryday, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to price your photography. This is a tough subject for a lot of people, so I really want to break it down as to how I price my photography. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing if you'd like to learn more about photography, Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop, and other editing programs. Also, if you're excited about today's video and learning a few steps towards pricing your photography better, then go ahead and leave a like on this video. It really does help this channel, and it lets me know what content you like the best. But without further ado, let's hop into the 5 tips to pricing your photography. So the first thing on the list is figuring out your cost of living. How much is it going to cost you to live without another job? How much money are you going to have to make from this photography business in relation to the job that you currently have? Or if you're going to do this full time and nothing else is helping you back yourself up, you got to do some math and figure out how much you're spending each and every month on different bills and things like that. And can you afford to cut some things out of your life? What are the things you can cut out of your life and sacrifices to make towards making your cost of living come down so you can make your numbers a little bit more achievable? So do the math and determine how much it's going to cost you to survive, and then you can jump into the other sets of numbers. Number 2 on this list, develop your business costs. Because if you don't know how much it's going to cost you to run your business, you're going to run into some problems. Things such as production costs, equipment, travel, lodging, taxes, accountants. You know, starting a business is not the easiest thing in the entire world to do, but there are a lot of things to consider when running a business in photography. For example, if you charge $1,500 for a basic wedding package, you don't actually keep that entire $1,500. No, that doesn't go straight into your pocket. Consider about 1/3, maybe 30% of that actually going to old Uncle Sam so he can collect his dues in your taxes. We're actually going to take a little bit more to consider other things such as expenses and stuff for that particular trip. Maybe you had to stay overnight somewhere, maybe you had to do some type of rental for equipment or a car, put in gas mileage and all these different factors. So we're actually going to take about 22% away from your $1,500. Now, the problem is if you did the math on making $1,500 and that's how much you need to make a month, you're now $350 short of paying your bills. So take things like that into account when you're setting up packages and your pricing. Tip number 3, pay attention to your area competition. The other photographers in your area are your competition. Pay attention to what they're charging, how many jobs they do, how much people like them, what people like about them, and different factors like. It's easy to figure out how much these people are charging because you could simply put an inquiry in, or have a friend do it, or just simply ask someone that has used them as a resource. So what you want to be doing is setting prices very similar to your local competition because people are already paying that. Now, if your competition is way better than you in terms of quality, clientele, and things like that, you may want to bring your prices down just a little bit to attract new customers until you build that rapport and really get known in your community. If the other photographers around you don't have the same quality work you do, aim to hit their prices or higher. Step number 4, which is the editing process. A lot of photographers don't think about the time where they've got to go back home, unload the images, edit these images, and prepare those to be exported and handed over to the clients. Unless, of course, you're selling print packages, which personally, I do not do that. If you would like to know more about that, leave a thumbs up or a comment below asking me about print packages and things like that, and I'll do a whole nother video. But what I do is go ahead and set everything up to give the digital print files and JPEGs to my clients because I don't like to worry about the printing stuff. I set my prices to a high enough level that I enjoy the income that I'm getting, and I can just go home, edit the photos, send them to them digitally, and let them just print their little hearts out. Step number 5, get hype and demand about your product. If people are freaking out about you and sharing you to all their friends, and as your demand increases, so does your prices. So if people want you really badly, they're going to pay more money for you. So the way you build that hype is just to continue building your portfolio, offer some contests on social media, and just really work to get your name out there and connect with your audience. Don't do this just by putting out your photos and being like, oh, look at the lovely photos I took today. Include local people from your community because that's going to get them excited. After all, people don't come to you just for, your expertise and your creative eye and artistry, they come to you to get photos of themselves. Because think about it this way, we as humans are very self-righteous beings. We really care about seeing ourselves. That doesn't mean that people aren't gonna really love what you're doing and help you to get hyped up into the situation where, you can leave that 9-to-5 job forever. So a little bit of a bonus tip, and to kind of wrap this video up today, you're thinking, well, Chad, you gave me no numbers. What does that mean? Well, the numbers are going to be different for everybody. So I can't actually give you numbers of saying, hey, this is what you should charge for a package. This is what you should charge for a photo shoot, editing, or whatever. Ultimately, sadly, that's going to come up to you, but the steps I gave you are ways that you can crunch the numbers and do the math and put yourself some packages together. But if you really want to know a cool little trick, again, it goes back to your competition. Look at what they're charging and base your prices somewhere around there. But guys, that's where we're just going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this, again, leave a thumbs up. If you want to learn more about photography, videography, and various tutorials I have, consider subscribing to this channel. It really will help me out and help you out in the long run too. But guys, that's where we're just going to do it for today. And as always, be sure to create something new today.